And we're live. Hi everyone, this is Mohawks Gamer, and I'll be returning to AG's Old World tutorial series, and we're moving on to tutorial 8, Money. And money is a very important resource, as you can imagine, because it's basically the gold, the currency that people mostly know from Forex. And for Old World, it's important as well, and it has a lot of different uses, but it does depend on various factors. First of all, your money is generated by your city. So, if you look over here, it will show you that this is your city will have an income, and then it will have a maintenance. And then basically your net is what your city contributes to your overall income. And as you can see, when you have connected cities, you also get more money. So the more cities are connected, the more profitable your cities are, the more money you will get. And money is very useful, and I don't believe there's a cap. Unlike training and civics, I don't think money has a cap. Maybe someone has discovered the cap. I have yet to hit that cap, so I'm probably either spending often enough that I don't reach that cap, or I just don't earn enough. So each of your cities will contribute to this, and as you can imagine, the more cities you have, the more you will generate, assuming that your maintenance is lower than your income. And when it comes to newly conquered city, that might not always be the case. Now, in addition to this, there are also other sources of income, but first let's talk about where money can be useful, right? You may be like, fine, you can make make money from your cities, you can make money from other sources, but why do I care? It matters a lot, depending on your laws. Money, depending on your laws, can actually be extremely useful. Actually, before I get into laws, let's talk about what you can use your money for without laws. So without laws, you can buy and sell resources. So when your city just became developing, strong, or legendary, you're able to build wonders. And then you check your worker and you're like, oh, I'm short X amount of resources. Well, guess what? Now you can use your hard-earned money to buy the resources you need to get a wonder, because there's only one wonder. Once you start building it, nobody else can steal it. So that is one of the more important aspects of money. Of course, then law adds extra uses for your money, but of course you need to enact the law to have it available to you. For instance, colonization allows you to buy tiles. So before, your tiles will grow once you reach the next cultural level. Now you can use money to buy the tiles, to expand, to get the necessary resources that you want, instead of waiting for your city to generate enough culture to expand to there. So this is pretty useful when there's a certain tile. Maybe your city just reached a new cultural level and there's another resource you want to snap up before your neighbor. So you buy the tile, it's yours. To my knowledge, I don't think it's possible to steal tiles from your opponents. I don't think that's the case. And this is neutral tiles. You can't buy your enemy's tiles. Otherwise, the strategy will be generate the most income and just buying out your enemy's territory until they have nothing left. Of course, then they'll declare war. So that's one other method of using gold. And another method would be coin debasement. So now you can buy or sell orders. So orders, I haven't talked about orders yet, I don't think. Yeah, I haven't talked about orders, but orders are important, and if you don't have enough order, being able to buy it with money, which you should generate a lot of by the time you unlock the tech, is pretty useful for wars. Or if you have a lot of order and you're not using most of it, I think you could sell it for, I believe you can sell it for a better price than what you would get if your, I didn't know you could actually sell legitimacy for order. Well, you need a schemer, right? Because what happens is unused orders are sold for money, but I think this gives you, I don't remember the amount, but what this does is now you get the money now as opposed to the next turn. And there's also one other way of using money, and that's, is that available from the very start? I'm trying to recall. Okay, so Holy War. So Holy War is also, yeah. So Holy War is also another law that you can enact where you can hurry production with money. So your default is use civics, gain discontent to hurry. And since there is a cap to your civics, it does mean that if you're getting close to that cap, 2,000, you might want to use it to speed up production of certain things, because otherwise it takes too long and it will help you develop your city faster. But if your civic production is low but you're producing a lot of money, suddenly Holy War allow you to buy units, essentially buy units, and that might help you reinforce the front line much faster than if you need civics, because it's more likely you'll have more money than civics, because first there isn't a cap, so you can actually stockpile a fair bit, maybe save up for Holy War and then get a bunch of units and then use that to help you start a major offensive on your biggest competition, or just wipe out most of your smaller competitions so that it'll be between you and your other opponent. So these are uses that are only made possible if you have the laws. And then of course there are also other matters, right? Various events where you're paying money. For example, there's one event where if you pay a fairly large sum, like 700,000, you will be able to get a courtier, right? There are all of these events where money is useful, and if you don't have enough money, guess what? You can sell your resources if you want to select the option that requires money. Otherwise, you'll have to pick the other ones, which may or may not be what you want. Who knows? But sometimes just know that you can sell these whenever in order to complete a certain event, because I think it does get updated when it comes to how much money you have when you close it and then get enough money. Now, the sources of money, first, like I said, it comes from the city. And this base value is based on the city population. So the larger population you have, the more income your city will have. But also remember that citizens also have a maintenance. So as you can imagine, well, I mean, I said population, right? Population is your city's total population. Citizens cost maintenance and food, but specialists, they are different. I'll talk about that in a future tutorial. But just know that the base value is based on the city population, and you get a bonus for being connected to the capital. And you also have certain improvements if you hover over it, it tells you hamlets and markets. Those are some. There's also gold and silver mines and whatever. And there's also, if you... So right now this is in my territory, but if the gems were outside my territory, I could send my scout over to harvest for a sum. I don't remember the exact number. And you can also get it from certain specialists. And one thing, I think it's called shopkeeper. Yeah, shopkeeper plus 10. And there's also civic projects, which is the council, where you get 60% money when you complete, and it only takes one turn. So if you know you will need a large sum of money soon, then do this for a couple turns, and I mean it tells you how much, right? In this case, we get plus 18. So basically you're trading in, I mean it's interesting because you're getting a small refund, like not a complete refund, but 60% refund of the civics you spent on this to get more money. So you're basically trading civics for money in that case. And of course there's also certain wonders. As you can imagine, wonders are pretty valuable. And what's nice is some of them give percentage. As you can see here, coast cities plus 50% money. Now, from my experience, percentage is more powerful later in the game. Early in the game, you want a flat amount because you just don't generate enough to really take advantage of the percentage. But later on, you'll start seeing the percentages really paying off. And in addition, you also have events that can give you, like in addition to events where you pay money, there are events you can actually get money, either a single lump sum or a certain amount per turn for X number of turns. And you also have family bonuses that could help you when it comes to your income. And then there's also bonuses from your king, queen, and heir. So here you see royals -1. It depends on their... It depends on a lot of factors. I'm not going to go into details because it is math that I don't want to cover here. And there's also courtiers and royal family. There's the support cost. And then, of course, governors can either use more funds or they could generate more funds. And they could give a flat amount. They could give a percentage. It really depends on how your governors are developed because oftentimes they're your family members. And then there's also, I mean, regarding what subtracts from it, there's the maintenance. That's based on number of citizens, as I said earlier. There's also newly conquered cities. They also have penalties. And there's also a certain... I can't remember. So for Carthage, yeah. Carthage has a bonus that's plus 50% money in all cities. Right? If you have bonuses that apply to it, that's also great. So, just a quick summary. Money is very useful to get the resources right when you need them for events, for various things like building wonder. And with the right laws, you can buy tiles, hurry production of units, buy order. And because there isn't a cap for money, it's quite useful for a lot of these things because hurry production, civics has a limit, so there's a limit to, there is a limit to how much money you will have, but at least you'll be able to hurry production more with money than you can with civics. And overall, there are quite a few different sources of money, and just developing your cities will get you there. But do watch out for maintenance, because maintenance can slowly eat away at your profit margins until maybe your cities aren't even producing enough to pay for themselves. Then it's not ideal. Anyways, I am going to end the video here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a good one.